Heads. 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 Bet. Heads I win. Again. Heads. 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 Oops. It must be indicative of something besides the redistribution of wealth. Heads.
A weaker man might be moved to re-examine his faith. If for nothing else, at least in the law of probability.
Heads.
Consider. 1. Probability is a factor which operates within natural forces. 2. Probability is not operating as a factor. 3. We are now held within sub, or supernatural forces. Discuss.
What? Look at it this way. If six monkeys... The law of averages, if I've got this right, means that if 6 monkeys were thrown up in the air long enough, they would land on their tails about as often as they would land on their...
Heads. Getting a bit of a bore, isn't it?
A bore?
Well...
What about the suspense?
What suspense?
It must be the law of diminishing returns. I feel the spell about to be broken. Well, it was an even chance.
78 in a row.
A new record, I imagine.
Is that what you imagine? A new record?
Well,
No questions, not a flicker of doubt.
I could be wrong.
No fear?
Fear?
Fear.
79.
I think I have it. Time has stopped dead. The single experience of one coin being spun once has been repeated 156 times. On the whole, doubtful. Or a spectacular vindication of the principle that each individual coin spun individually is as likely to come down heads as tails, and therefore should cause no surprise each individual time it does.
Heads. I've never known anything like it.
He's never known anything like it. But he has never known anything to write home about, therefore it is nothing to write home about. What's the first thing you remember?
Well, let's see. First thing that comes into my head, you mean?
No. The first thing you remember.
Ah. No. It's no good. It's gone. It's a long time ago.
You don't get my meaning. What's the first thing after all the things you've forgotten?
Oh, I see. I've forgotten the question.
Are you happy?
What?
Content. At ease.
I suppose so.
What are you going to do now?
I don't know. What do you want to do? Look,
What about it?
well,
We have been spinning coins together since, I don't know when. And in all that time, if it is all that time, 157 coins spun consecutively have come down heads 157 consecutive times, and all you can do is play with your food.
wait a minute.
There was a messenger.
Rosencrantz! Guildenstern!
He was sent for. Do you remember the first thing that happened today?
Oh, I woke up, I suppose. I've got it now. That man, he woke us up.
Messenger.
That's it. Pale sky before dawn. A man standing on his saddle to bang on the shutters. But then he called our names. You remember? That man woke us up. We were sent for. That's why we're here. Traveling. A matter of extreme urgency. A royal summons, his very words. Official business, no questions asked. Up we get and off at the gallop, fearful lest we come too late.
Too late for what?
How would I know? We haven't got there yet. I say.
audience! Don't move! Perfect! Well met, in fact, and just in time.
Why is that?
Why, we grow rusty, and you catch us at the very point of decadence. This time tomorrow, we might have forgotten everything we ever knew. We'd be back where we started, improvising.
Tumblers, are you?
We can give you a tumble, if that's your taste, and times being what they are. Otherwise, for a jingle of coin, we can do you a selection of gory romances, pirated from the Italian. And it doesn't take much to make a jingle. Even a single coin has music in it, should it be gold. Tragedians! At your command.
My name is Guildenstern, and this is Rosencrantz.
I'm sorry. His name is Guildenstern, and I'm Rosencrantz.
We've played to bigger, but quality counts for something.
Tragedians. What exactly do you do?
Tragedy, sir. Deaths and disclosures, universal and particular. Denouement. Transvestite melodrama. We transport you back into a world of intrigue and illusion. Clowns, if you like. Murders. We can do you ghosts. And battles. On the skirmish level. Heroes, villains, tormented lovers. Set pieces in the poetic vein. We can do you rapiers, or rape, or both. By all means, faithless wives and ravished virgins. Flagrante delicto. At a price for which there are special terms. It costs little to watch, and little more to get caught up in the action, if that's your taste, and times being what they are.
What are they?
Indifferent.
Bad?
Wicked. See anything you like? A lucky thing we came along.
For us.
Also for you. For some, it is performance. For others, patronage. They are two sides of the same coin, or being as there are so many of us, the same side of two coins.
It was luck, then.
Or fate.
Yours or ours?
Could hardly be one without the other.
Fate, then. You said caught up in the action.
I did. You're quicker than your friend. For a handful of coin, I happen to have a private and uncut performance of the rape of the Sabine women. Or rather, woman. Or rather, Alfred. And for 8, you can participate.
It could have been... It didn't have to be obscene. I was prepared. But it's this, is it? No enigma, no dignity, nothing classical or poetic. Only this. A comic pornographer and a rabble of prostitutes.
You should have caught us in better times. We were purists then.
Excuse me.
Alfred.
You're not exclusively players, then?
We are inclusively players, sir.
I had no idea.
No.
I mean, I've heard, but I've never actually seen.
No.
I mean, what exactly do you do?
We keep to our usual stuff, more or less, only inside out. We do on stage the things that are supposed to happen off, which is a kind of integrity if you look on every exit as an entrance somewhere else. Wait a minute.
What will you do for that?
Do you know any good plays?
Plays? Oh, yes.
One of the Greeks, perhaps? You're familiar with the tragedies of antiquity, are you? The great homicidal classics, maidens aspiring to godheads, or vice versa? That's your kind of thing, is it?
I can't say it is, really. We're more of the love, blood, and rhetoric school. Well, we can do you blood and love without the rhetoric, and we can do you blood and rhetoric without the love, and we can do you all three, concurrent or consecutive. But we can't give you love and rhetoric without the blood. Blood is compulsory. You're all blood, you see.
Is that what people want?
It's what we do.
Do you like a bet? Double or nothing?
Heads. Heads.
Double or nothing?
Come on.
I say, that was lucky. It was tails.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you. The need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? So call it, since nor the exterior nor the inward man resembles that it was. What it should be, more than his father's death that thus hath put him so far from the understanding of himself, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both, that being of so young days brought up with him, and sith so neighboured to his youth and haviour, that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little time, so by your companies to draw him on to pleasures, and to gather so much as from occasion you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that opened lies within our remedy.
Good. Gentlemen, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am 2 men there are not living to whom he more adheres. If it will please you to show us so much gentry and goodwill as to extend your time with us a while. For the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesties might, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreat.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent to lay our service freely at your feet to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz. And gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern, and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son.
Heaven make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Aye. Amen.
I want to go home.
Don't let them confuse you.
We're in over our steps, heading out of depth, stepping out of our heads. It's all heading to a dead stop.
There.
Hasn't it ever happened to you that all of a sudden, and for no reason at all, you haven't the faintest idea how to spell the word witch or house? Because when you write it down, you just can't remember ever having seen those letters in that order before. I remember. Right, I remember when there were no questions. There are always questions. Answers, yes. There are answers to everything. You've forgotten. I haven't. Now, I used to remember my own name and yours, oh yes. There were answers everywhere you looked. There was no question about it. People knew who we were, and if they didn't, they asked them. Come on. We did. The trouble is, each of them is plausible without being instinctive. Instinctive? All your life, you live so close to truth, it becomes a permanent blur in the corner of your eye. And when something nudges it into outline, it's like being ambushed by a grotesque. The man standing in his saddle in the half-lit, half-alive dawn banged on the shutters and called two names. When he called, we came. That much is certain. We came.
Well, I can tell you, I'm sick to death of it. I don't care which one I am, so why don't you make up your mind?
We didn't come all this way for a christening. But we have been comparatively fortunate. We might have been left to sift the whole field of human nomenclature like two blind men looting a bazaar for their own portraits. At least we are presented with alternatives.
Well, as from now, my name is...
But not choice. Your smallest action sets up another somewhere else and is set off by it.
I do think, or else this brain of mine hunts...
We're going round in circles.
So sure as it have used to do, that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That do I long to hear.
Give first admittance to the ambassadors.
He tells me, my dear Gertrude, he hath found the head and source of all your son's distemper.
I doubt it is no other but the main. His father's death and our o'er-hasty marriage.
Well, we shall sift him.
It's all right. There's a logic at work. It's all done for you. Don't worry. Enjoy it. Relax. Relax. We have been briefed.
Have we?
Hamlet's transformation. What do you recollect?
Well, he's changed, isn't he? The exterior, inward man, fails to resemble...
Draw him onto pleasures, glean what afflicts him.
Something more than his father's death.
He's always talking about us. There aren't two people living whom he dotes on more than us.
We cheer him up, find out what's the matter.
Exactly. It's just a matter of asking the right questions and giving away as little as we can.
And then we can go?
And receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
What do you think she meant by remembrance?
He doesn't forget his friends.
Would you care to estimate?
Some kings tend to be amnesiac, others the opposite, I suppose. Whatever that is.
How much?
Elephantine.
How much?
Retentive. He's a very retentive king. A royal retainer.
What are you playing at?
Words. Words. They're all we have to go on.
Look at this.
Leave things alone.
Sorry.
This is interesting. You would think this would fall faster than this, wouldn't you? And you'd be absolutely right. Fancy a game?
We're spectators.
Do you want to play questions?
How do you play that?
You have to ask questions.
Statement one, love.
Cheating.
How?
I hadn't started yet.
Statement two, love.
Are you counting that?
What?
Are you counting that?
Foul, no repetition, three, love, and game.
I'm not going to play if you're going to be like that.
Who serve? Hesitation, love, one.
Who's go?
Why?
Why not?
What for?
No synonyms. One all.
What in God's name is going on?
Foul, no rhetoric, 2-1.
What does it all add up to?
Can't you guess?
Are you addressing me?
Is there anyone else?
Who?
How would I know?
Why do you ask?
Are you serious?
Was that rhetoric?
No.
Statement two, all game point.
What's the matter with you today?
When?
What?
Are you deaf?
Am I dead?
Yes or no?
Is there a choice?
Is there a God?
Foul. No non sequiturs. 3-2, 1 game all.
What's your name?
What's yours?
You first.
Statement. One love.
What's your name when you're at home?
What's yours?
When I'm at home?
Is it different at home?
What home?
Haven't you got one?
Why do you ask?
What are you driving at?
What's your name?
Repetition. 2 love. Match point. Who do you think
You are.
Rhetoric, game and match. Match.
Rosencrantz.
What?
There. How was that?
Clever.
Natural?
Instinctive. Now I try you.
Not yet. Catch me unawares.
Right.
No, me. Unawares.
Ready?
Never mind.
Mad, let us come. Now repeat that we like the cause of this effect, or rather say the cause of this defect, for this effect defective comes by cause. Thus it remains, and the remainder thus upheld. I have a daughter, while she is mine, who in her beauty and obedience mark hath given me this. Now, gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. That's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase. But you shall hear. Thus, in her excellent white bosom.
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Good madam, stay a while. I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars that light. Doubt that the sun doth move. To thee I lie, but never lie. As I perceive it, I must tell you that before my daughter told me, what might you, or my dear Majesty, Queen here, think if I had played the desk or table, or given my dumb, or looked upon this love with idle sight? What might you think? No, I went bound to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy star. This must not be. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God have mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent. Excellent well. You are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord. What do you read, my lord?
Words. Words, words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Statement. Slanders, sir. For the satirical rogue says here that old men have grey beards, that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes purged.
Who was that? Didn't you know him?
You didn't know me.
He didn't see you.
I didn't see him.
We shall see. My heart
hardly knew him. He's changed.
You could see that?
Transformed.
How do you know?
Inside and out.
I see.
He's not himself, you know.
He's changed.
I could see that. Glean what afflicts him.
Me?
Him.
How?
Question and answer.
He's afflicted.
You question, I'll answer.
He's not himself, you know.
I'm him, you see.
Who am I?
You're yourself.
And he's you?
Not a bit of it.
Are you afflicted?
That's the idea. You ready?
Let's go back a bit.
I'm afflicted.
I see.
Glean what afflicts me.
Right.
Question and answer.
How should I begin?
Address me.
My dear Guildenstern.
You forgot, haven't you?
My dear Rosencrantz.
I don't think you quite understand. What we're attempting here is a hypothesis in which I answer for him while you ask me questions.
Ah. Ready?
You know what to do.
What?
Are you stupid?
Pardon?
Are you deaf?
Did you speak?
Not now.
Stay.
Not now!
Say.
What?
Well. Would you like a bite?
No. Thank you.
Oh, you mean you pretend to be him? And I ask you questions.
Very good.
You had me confused.
I could see I had.
How should I begin?
Address me.
My honored lord.
My dear Rosencrantz.
Am I pretending to be you, then?
Certainly not. Well, if you like, shall we continue?
My honored lord.
My dear fellow.
How are you?
Afflicted.
Really? In what way?
Transformed.
Inside or out?
Both.
I see.
Not much new there.
Well, go into detail! Delve!
Probe the background. Establish the situation.
So your uncle's the king of Denmark?
That's right. And my father before him.
His father before him?
No, my father before him.
But surely...
You may well ask.
Let me get it straight. Your father was king, you were his only son, your father dies, you are of age, your uncle becomes king.
Yes.
Unusual.
Undid me.
Undeniably.
He slipped in.
Which reminds
Well,
me.
it would.
I don't want to be personal.
Common.
Your mother's marriage.
He slipped in.
His body was still warm.
So was hers.
Extraordinary.
Indecent.
Hasty.
Suspicious.
Makes you think.
Don't think I haven't.
And with her husband's brother.
They were close.
She went to him.
Too close.
For comfort.
Looks bad.
Adds up.
Incest to adultery.
Would you go so far?
Never.
To sum up. Your father, whom you love, dies. You are his heir. You come back to find that hardly was the corpse cold before his young brother popped onto his throne and into his sheets, thereby offending both legal and natural practice. Now, why exactly are you behaving in this extraordinary manner?
I can't imagine. And yet we were sent for. And we did come.
Rosencrantz.
What?
Guildenstern.
What?
Don't you discriminate at all?
What?
Nothing.
Look at this. Watch closely.
Interesting.
Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave?
Indeed, that is out of the air. My honorable lord, I will most humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I will more willingly part withal. Except my life. Except my life. Except my life.
Fare you well, my lord.
These tedious old fools.
You go to seek the Lord Hamlet. There he is.
What's he doing? Talking. To himself.
My honored lord. My most dear lord.
My excellent good friends. How dost thou, Guildenstern? Ah, Rosencrantz. Oh, good lads. How do you both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy that we are not over happy on Fortune's cap. We are not very buttoned.
Nor the soles of her shoes.
Neither, my lord.
Then you live about her waist or in the middle of her favors.
Faith, her privates, we.
In the secret parts of Fortune. Ah, most true. She is a strumpet. Of what news?
None, my lord, but that the world's grown honest.
Then is doomsday near. But your news is not true. Let me question more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of Fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord?
Denmark's a prison.
Then is the world one.
A goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons, Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why, then, 'tis none to you. For there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison.
Why then your ambition makes it one? 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh, God! I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space, were it not that I have bad dreams. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord. No other occasion.
Beggar that I am, I'm even poor in thanks. But I thank you. Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Well, come, nay, speak!
What should we say, my lord?
Why, anything but to the purpose. You were sent for, and there is a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to colour. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me. Be even and direct with me whether you were sent for or no.
My lord, we were sent for.
Aha! I will tell you why. Anon he finds him, striking too short at Greeks. His antique sword, rebellious to his arm, lies where it falls, repugnant to command. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercises, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, note you, this brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire, why, it appeareth nothing to me but a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What piece of work is man? How noble in reason. How infinite in faculties. In form and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world. The paragon of animals. And yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me, nor woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh then when I said man delights not me?
And to think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you. We coated them on the way, and hither are they coming to offer you service.
He that plays the king shall be welcome. Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elston. Oh, your hands, come then. You are welcome. But my uncle father and my aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am but mad northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw.
Well be with you, gentlemen.
Hark you, Guildenstern, and you too, at each ear a hearer. That great baby you see there is not yet out of his swaddling clouts. I will prophesy he comes to tell me of the players.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I have news to tell you. When Roscius was an actor in Rome...
The actors are come hither, my lord.
Buzz.
Upon my honor.
Then came each actor on his ass.
The best actors in the world. Either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, comical, historical, pastoral, tragical,
Hmm? Yes, what? I thought you... Ah.
Say, look at this. think we can say we made some progress.
You think so?
I think we can say that.
I think we can say he made us look ridiculous.
Played it close to the chest, of course.
Question and answer. He was scoring off us all down the line.
Caught us on the wrong foot once or twice, but I think we gained some ground.
He murdered us.
What about the edge?
27-3, and you think he might have had the edge? He murdered us.
What about our evasions?
Oh, our evasions were lovely. You were sent for, he says. My lord, we were sent for. Now, where'd I put myself?
He had 6 rhetorical.
It was question and answer, all right.
And 2 repetitions.
27 questions he got out and answered 3. I was waiting for you to delve. When's he going to start delving, I asked myself.
We got his symptoms, didn't we?
Half of what he said meant something else, and the other half didn't mean anything at all.
Thwarted ambition, a sense of grievance. That's my diagnosis.
6 rhetorical and 2 repetition, leaving 19 of which we answered 15. And what did we get in return? He's depressed. Denmark's a prison, and he'd rather live in a nutshell. Some shadow play about the nature of ambition, and finally, one direct question which might have led somewhere and led, in fact, to his illuminating claim to tell a hook from a handbag.
And saw.
And saw.
When the wind is southerly.
And the weather's clear.
And when it isn't, he can't.
He's at the mercy of the elements. Is that southerly?
We came from roughly south.
Which way is that?
In the morning, the sun would be easterly. I think we can assume that.
That it's morning?
If it is, and the sun is over there, for instance, that would be northerly. On the other hand, if it's not morning and the sun is over there, that would still be northerly. To put it another way, if we came from down there and it's morning, the sun would be up there. But if it is actually over there and it's still morning, we must have come from back there. And if that's southerly and the sun is really over there, then it's the afternoon. However, if none of these is the case,
why don't you go and have a look?
Pragmatism. Is that all you have to offer?
I merely suggest the position of the sun, if it is out, would give you a rough idea of the time. Alternatively, the clock, if it is going, would give you a rough idea of the position of the sun. I forget which you are trying to establish.
I'm trying to establish the direction of the wind.
There isn't any wind. Draft?
Yes.
Striking you should. Antique sword, rebellious to the arm. It is fire fires, enraged, strikes wild, but with the whip and wind of his fell sword, the unnerved father falls. Then, senseless Ilium, seeming to feel his blow, with flaming top stoops to his base, and with a hideous crash, takes prisoner Pyrrhus' ear. For lo, his sword, which was declining on the milky head of Reverend Priam, seeming as the opposite.
Mind the bottom step. Sorry.
Then Pyrrhus' bleeding sword now falls on Priam. Out! Out, thou strumpet fortune! All you gods in general synod, take away her power! Break all the space from her wheel, and
bowl the round nave down the hill of heaven, as low as to the fiends.
This is too long.
Shall to the barbers with your beard. Prithee, say on, he's for a speech or a tale of bawdry, or he sleeps. Stay on, come to Hecuba.
Seen the Moblet Queen.
Moblet Queen.
That's good. Moblet Queen is good.
This had seen. Come, let us speak. Reason.